Have you guys been thinking to yourself, I see Aaron out there, he's buying all this real estate, he's adding to his portfolio, growing his long-term wealth. I want to get started doing that too. Well, I'm Aaron Impens, and today we're going to talk about some of the must-dos when you want to get started in real estate. What's up, guys? Aaron Impens again. All right, so you've seen what I've been doing, and if you haven't, or your friends haven't, make sure and tell them. But I've been out there finding all kinds of real estate. Anywhere from properties that I flip and resell, but mainly my goal is to buy properties to keep long term and grow my rental investment portfolio. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I want to get started doing that too. Well, that's great. So let's talk about some of the must-dos of what you want to do or what you need to do when you're getting started. First, let's talk about real estate in general. You can get on TV and watch all of these fancy shows on HGTV and things like that, and there's people out there just making money. You know, all they get to do is they get to go in there and worry about a constant deadline that they're always going to end up meeting at the end of the show, or they're going to get to fill their house with this fancy furniture. Next thing you know, they just made 80 grand. It's like magic. Well, let me tell you, there's plenty of money to be made in real estate, but remember, that's TV. It's not reality. You're just getting started. You may or may not have money. You may or may not know a lot about real estate. So what should you do? Well, I want to tell you what one of my mentors told me when I very first got started, okay? And it's simple advice. Go out and look at properties. That was his grand words of wisdom. Go out and look at properties. I thought to myself, well, why would I go look at properties if I don't know if it's a good deal or not? Well, think about that for a minute. As his words of wisdom set in to go look at properties, and I realized I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I should look at them because I don't know if they're a good deal. Well, that's exactly why you should go look at properties. You don't know what is a good deal. Get out there, look at everything. I tell this to everybody, and people always look at me and they say, that's such trivial advice, it doesn't matter. Give me some juicy details, but I promise you, the start is to get out and look at real estate. When you first get started, you're not going to know what is a good deal. You're not going to know, let's say, what neighborhoods are better than others, or maybe what school districts are people looking to buy in over others. You're definitely not going to know what the trends are and what type of things that you want to look for in repairs. All of those things can be figured out by going and looking at real estate. I don't care if it's a good deal or not, because the more you go out there and you look, the more you're going to start to figure out and say, okay, this ranch style 3-bedroom, 1-bath home is going to be worth X amount of dollars in this neighborhood. But that same house on the other side of town in a different neighborhood is going to be worth this. The only way for you to do that is to look at real estate. I can tell you that I look at 50 to 100 houses every single month. You know, I wish I could buy all of those, but the fact of the matter is that they're not all good deals. And when I first started, I looked at even more. I would go to open houses that real estate agents were holding. I would call for sale by owners. It didn't matter. I was going and looking at real estate and learning the values. All right, so you've been looking at houses. You've been learning what things are worth. You're going to start setting some criteria for yourself as to what you want to buy. You're going to really gain some of that knowledge. But let's remember, this is going to be a business, so you're going to take some emotion out of it. You're going to take the emotion out of it. You don't care if it's fancy or if it has nice furniture in it or if it has pretty paint colors. Take the emotion out, set your criteria for yourself, and that way you can repeat this over and over and over again. Okay, one of the other things that you're going to need to do when you first get started is you're going to need to meet people. Again, that sounds so simple, but go out there, meet people, tell everybody what you are doing. I don't care if it's your brother or your brother's friend or your mom or your grandma or your neighbors, it doesn't matter. Go tell everybody what you are doing. In real estate, the relationships that you build, whether it be with your neighbor or whether it be with other real estate professionals, that's what's going to help you find those good deals. Let's say, for instance, Your neighbor has a house that they just inherited and they don't know what to do with it. Well, if you've been telling them all along, say, hey, I'm out buying houses, I'm looking for real estate, guess who they're going to think of first and foremost to call? You. Same with you want to try to meet some people that are already in the real estate business. They already have the knowledge and the know-how of what's going on. Ask them questions. Reach out to them. You're not going to know the answers necessarily right out of the gate. Reach out to them. They'll answer the questions, but I promise you, they won't answer them if you don't ask. Try to provide some value to them as well. If you can add some value to them, they're going to be more and more willing to add more value to you as well. And when they've got something that comes up that they're passing on or looking to move or looking to sell, they're also going to think, oh yeah, they just called me and they're getting into real estate. Maybe I can help them out. I just want to say to you, two of the most important things to do when getting started. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about if you've got a fancy office or all of the systems in place or whatever. That's all going to come over time. But before you need any of that, you have to understand what real estate values are. You have to understand what a good deal is. It's also important that you've built relationships and started telling everybody what you're doing. Those are the two foundational things besides taking action that are going to help kickstart your real estate business. Okay? So that's a little bit of info for me today. Some of the must-dos when you get started with real estate. Hope it helps. If you want to tune back in, get some more tips or advice or experience from what I've experienced, make sure and smash that subscribe button. Give me some likes, and we'll see you guys next time.